Welcome once again to Customs and GST Advisory channel of customsgst.com. Today we are discussing a topic which directly impacts the electronic credit ledger of the GST assessee. Imagine this: your electronic credit ledger shows zero balance. You open the GST portal the next day, and suddenly it displays balance minus rupees 25 lakhs, no adjudication. No recovery order, no final demand. Just a negative ITC balance. Can the sovereign government do this? Can Rule 86A convert a preventive power into a recovery mechanism? And most importantly, can GSTN software architecture create a liability that the CGST rules never authorized? Today we examine the explosive controversy surrounding negative electronic credit ledger cases, including the principles emerging from Delhi High Court, Punjab, Haryana High Court, and the landmark reasoning in Samay Alloys India Private Limited of Gujarat High Court. In this video, we are not discussing ordinary ITC disputes. We are discussing a constitutional and procedural safeguard that may affect thousands of ongoing GST investigations. The question is simple: can Rule 86A block only existing ITC, or can it also consume future ITC by creating a negative balance? This question impacts large number of assessee. Let us begin with the text. Rule 86A empowers the commissioner or authorized officer to disallow the debit of an amount equivalent to such credit available in the electronic credit ledger when there are reasons to believe that the credit is fraudulently availed or ineligible. Notice the critical words: such credit available electronic credit ledger. The rule speaks about existing credit. It does not speak about future credit, anticipated credit, or a negative balance. Rule 86A operates as a preventive blocking mechanism, not as a recovery provision. It is a temporary measure based on the officer's reasons to believe, applies only to available input tax credit, and does not involve appropriation of money. In contrast, Sections 73, 74, and 79 are adjudicatory recovery. Provisions that come into play after final determination of liability require adjudication, create an enforceable demand, and authorize recovery of tax, interest, and penalty. Therefore, if a negative electronic credit ledger is created or future ITC is automatically consumed, Rule 86A ceases to remain a preventive safeguard and effectively becomes a recovery mechanism without adjudication, which is precisely the constitutional and procedural concern highlighted in these cases. Suppose the department alleges fake ITC of rupees 40 lakh, available ITC in your ledger rupees 5 lakh. What can Rule 86A legally do? Block rupees 5 lakh. What happened in several disputes? Ledger showed minus rupees 35 lakh. Now every future genuine ITC first gets absorbed into this negative figure. This is not mere blocking. This is automatic recovery through software architecture. The turning point came in Samay Alloys India Private Limited versus State of Gujarat. The Honorable Gujarat High Court held that Rule 86A permits blocking of available credit. It does not authorize creation of a negative electronic credit ledger. The court made a powerful observation: preventive power cannot be converted into a recovery mechanism. The taxpayer's ledger had insufficient balance, yet the system created a negative block. The court directed restoration of the ledger and recognized that future credit cannot be frozen through a negative entry. This principle has become the foundation of later challenges across India. The emerging judicial trend from Delhi High Court and Punjab Haryana High Court is consistent with this reasoning. The courts have emphasized three core principles. Rule 86A is a preventive safeguard. It protects revenue pending investigation. Existing ITC may be blocked, but future credit cannot be artificially consumed through a negative balance. Recovery requires statutory procedure. Sections 73, 74, and 79 exist for determination and recovery of tax. In simple words, blocking is not recovery. Article 265 of Indian Constitution says, "No tax shall be levied or collected except by authority of law." If future ITC is automatically absorbed against a negative balance without adjudication, the collection occurs not because of a statutory demand, but because of a backdoor software entry. That raises a serious constitutional concern. Why should every taxpayer care? Because Rule 86A is now used extensively in fake invoice investigations, ITC fraud cases, supplier mismatch cases, and search proceedings. If negative blocking is accepted, a taxpayer may lose access to future legitimate ITC even before liability is determined. That is why this issue is not technical. It is a procedural safeguard against premature recovery. If a negative balance is created, taxpayers should immediately examine, was any ITC actually available on the date of blocking? Is there a written Rule 86A order? Does the order specify reasons to believe? Has adjudication under Sections 73 or 74 been completed? Has future ITC been effectively appropriated? These questions can become decisive in writ proceedings. Let us conclude with the central principle. Rule 86A is a shield. It is not a sword. The department may block available suspicious credit. It cannot, through software or administrative design, convert that power into recovery of future credit. The emerging judicial message is clear: preventive powers cannot become recovery powers. Software cannot enlarge the statute, and the electronic credit ledger cannot be turned into a negative recovery account unless the law itself authorizes it. In a constitutional democracy, Parliament makes the law, the rules implement the law. The portal must follow the law, never the other way around. Thank you for watching. In the next episode, can GSTN recover tax without adjudication? We will examine whether software architecture can create a de facto recovery mechanism even when the CGST Act requires adjudication. If you found this analysis useful, like, comment, subscribe to Customs GST Advisory channel, and visit customsgst.com for more GST and customs litigation solution.